So for today's video, we'll talk about 3 things that I learned from my dad and 3 things that my dad learned from me.
So I'll go ahead and start first. It's very rare that you actually see your child actually being like so mature and so awesome and so great. And man, as they grow up, like as Jordan's been growing up all these years, he has so many qualities that I admire in him. So I'm just gonna start with the main 3. But one of the main qualities I really enjoy and admire and that I've learned from Jordan is the quality of patience. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still working on my patience now, but just to see how Jordan is very patient with things and with processes, and he's not easy to anger. He's very calm and cool and level-headed, and that's just something that I really admire in him, and that's something that I'm still learning to, be able to do. So it's a work in progress, but, I really admire that about Jay. Jay, what's the first thing you admire about me?
Well, I would say, polar opposite. I would say the way how you handle certain situations where you always address people, tell them what they did wrong, and you allow them to fix it. So I always admire that about you as well. Well, I noticed that the people you get onto, they never tend to come at you with the same energy again afterwards.
And let's see, the second thing I admire about Jay, Jordan is very meticulous. Like, he's very meticulous. Like, I'll go in and do like the big stuff and okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna pick this up, move this here, move that there. Jordan will literally go in and he'll straighten things up and he'll have things nice and neat and organized. And he takes a lot of time. Like, even when we build cornholes, like we'll build the cornholes and I'll go in and I'll do the big painting pieces, but then Jordan will literally go back and edge up the corners. He'll fix like certain spots on the corners, stuff that I didn't even pay attention to see. So I'm looking at the big picture stuff, and Jordan has a unique way of looking at the small, particular fine grains of things. And so it's almost like he takes a magnifying glass of everything and he tunes it and perfects it. So that's something that I really admire about Jordan, and that's a trait that I'm really working on to have myself.
Your second trait, confidence level. I noticed that, whenever you speak to people, you have a lot of confidence. Whenever you walk around, you have a lot of confidence. And whenever sticking your chest out. One thing that I remember you told me a lot a couple of years ago, actually. Always walk with your chest out because it shows confidence.
And thank you for that, Jay, because, a lot of times, and we talked earlier, our young men don't get great examples of, father figures or what it's like to be a man in this world. And sometimes they go without an example, or sometimes the example that they lean towards are like very negative influences. So for you to see me in that light and see me as confident, like that, I really appreciate that, Jay. And let's see, my third thing with Jordan, oh man, there's so many different things, Jay. I admire Jordan's even keel and just balance, like his tone, his demeanor, like the way he goes about. Jordan is like very logical, so he's not gonna act extremely emotional about things. He's gonna act within his logic, and he's not gonna like spaz out or go crazy. So Jordan will be like, well, Dad, yeah, that makes sense, because if someone does this, then this and this and this will happen. And so he'll rationally, logically, like talk about things and figure things out and explain things. And it's just so cool to watch, because it's almost like not watching a robot, but just watching someone that's extremely calculated and mathematical. And he's a friendly, good, happy kid. He has a smile on his face, but he's like, yeah, Dad, I messed up. And that's his accountability piece too. And he's like, yeah, Dad, I messed up. So it makes sense that, yeah, this happened. So I need to do this, and this to fix it in the future. So it's amazing just to see him kind of operate and work like that. So I really admire that about you, Jay.
And the one last thing that I admire about my dad, and it's not the one last thing, of course, it's a couple other different things, but since we're doing 3 recents, one of the things I admire about my dad is his thinking, where he'll think like a very long time ahead about a situation. Where how come Batman, he pretty much planned out how to take out the whole Justice League before they could even do anything bad. My dad is that type of person where he'll set out a plan and he'll continue upon that plan for like many years, or however long it takes. I think that's pretty cool about him. And I've one day planned to do the same thing because, well, I also want to be prepared for certain situations.
And you know, and I guess kind of elaborate on what Jordan has been saying. Like, we have our financial expenses book that we actually do our finances every month. So we make an allocated spending plan. We spend our money on paper before the month comes, and then we do a sheet of paper where we put our needs and our wants in. And so Jordan, sometimes he's seen our needs and wants get met immediately, and then sometimes he's seen them get met a couple of months, weeks, or even years down the road. But he knows that if we write it down, that eventually it's going to happen. So just, you know, that delayed gratification piece and just understanding that. And then even with our YouTube channel and FSI courses, I remember telling Jordan when he was like 8, 9, that like, Jordan, just watch and see. One of these days it's gonna blow up, it's gonna be big. And Jordan, our FSI courses is gonna be big. And Jordan had faith in his dad, like, man, from the very beginning. So he never doubted me on things. And I guess it's because I've always been a man of my word. Like, if I say it, then, you know,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time. But that's it. That's all we have for this video. But if you have any questions, you know, just leave them down in the comment section below. And we plan on shooting more of these videos. Y'all take care. Peace. And have a positive, productive day.